All right, what's up? Welcome back to a special episode of Birds on the Farm. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Cardinals left-handed pitching prospect Brycen Mautz. Coming off a standout 2025 season, Brycen took a huge step forward thanks to increased velocity and the addition of some new weapons, including a sharper cutter and an improved changeup. It's helped him neutralize right-handed hitters more effectively than ever. From walking on at the University of San Diego to becoming one of the West Coast Conference's top arms in 2022, leading the league in both innings pitched and strikeouts, Mautz's rise is very exciting. It's a testament to hard work and steady growth. That performance ultimately earned him a second-round selection by the St. Louis Cardinals in the 2022 MLB Draft. Known for his deceptive low three-quarters delivery, Mautz is a nightmare matchup for left-handed hitters, who posted just a 493 OPS against him in 2025. Brycen, thanks so much for joining us. We're so excited to be talking to you today.
Thank you for having me.
Brycen, it's awesome to have you on. Let's just start it off with, talking about your early days. How did you first get into the game of baseball? And what was it about the sport that really grabbed you as a kid?
Yeah, I started in T-ball like everyone else. My mom's side of the family, huge baseball fans. My mom always grew up going to games, so there's always that. From the start, I was throwing balls out of my crib, so it's kind of always been a favorite thing of mine. But yeah, grew up in just playing little league. Got in travel ball when I was 10, I think. But yeah, it was a sport I was always best at. So I kind of the thing I always had the most fun doing.
Yeah. Were there any early influencers or mentors that you feel like helped guide you as you started to learn the game?
Um, yeah, early is just my dad was kind of learning the game as I was. He was my little league coach for most of my years, so he'd always help out and help teach me the ways. And then as soon as I got into travel ball, I was around some people that had played in college before, had played professionally, had were scouts, whatever. So that gave me some good guidance of what it actually takes to check all the boxes and make a varsity team, move up, all that.
Were there any players that you admired at a young age, or even tried to model your game after? Obviously, being a lefty, I think the first name that comes to my mind is like someone like Chris Sale, maybe, or Madison Bumgarner. Both guys, lower slot lefties. Were there any players like that you really modeled your game after at a young age?
From a young age, from the lefty side, um, I'd say probably Kershaw, just kind of being local-ish. I got to my mom coached Jamie Moyer's daughter on the little league softball team. So he came out once or twice, and he'd see me throw in and give me some little things here and there. So that was super cool. But other than that, I went to a ton of Padres games as a kid. So I really loved watching like Jake Peavy, Trevor Hoffman, Heath Bell, those guys do their thing.
Man, Jamie Moyer is a great pull. Long major league career. I think he pitched like nearly 30 years, and for a lot of baseball teams too. So hopefully Brycen Mautz has a long tenure in the major leagues like Jamie Moyer, but I don't think it was always that it must have been hard for you as a guy that was a walk-on at San Diego. Did you really believe you had a career in baseball when you got there? Or was it something you just wanted to continue playing the game and you'll see how far it took you? And, it's worked out to this point, but as a walk-on to a second-round pick and one of the top prospects, that's a big rise.
Yeah, definitely more of the latter. I didn't go in thinking like this is just a bridge to the next level. Like it was all I wanted to do at that time, and I just wanted to be as good as I could, work my way into hopefully a starting role on that team, and go from there. But it wasn't. I didn't really think of it as like really being an option for me until a little later.
So at what point during your college career would you say that it really started to sink in that playing professionally was a real possibility for you?
Yeah, I'd say probably the end of my sophomore year. I got moved to the bullpen, and I had a few things click for me. My velo shot up a little bit, and at that point, I was like, okay, like I'm actually at this level, and if I'm able to keep growing and produce for a full season, like it could be a real possibility. But as far as like definitive time, I probably wouldn't say until maybe the fall of my junior year. Seeing more and more scouts come out each time I threw an inter squad stuff, I'd say that's when it really settled in for me.
Take us to the process leading up to the draft. How'd you navigate that? What was that like? I mean, was there anything going through your head as you approached that? And did you expect to have your name called? I mean, I'm sure you did based on how you went in the second round, but tell us a little bit about that time.
Yeah, it was all super foreign for me. I know a lot of the guys when they get drafted, they've been through at least part of the steps in high school, especially with the 40 round draft before. But like a lot of dudes had at least talked to scouts, whatever, done the questionnaires and all that. But I didn't do any of that until the start of my junior year. So it was all super foreign for me. And then in terms of like position wise, like I had no clue. My only reference that I really had were dudes that were on my team in the past that had gotten drafted. So I just kind of put myself in, like, tried to see where I stacked up in that regard. But I didn't know I'd be even like in that second, third round area until maybe like a week or two before the draft was the first time I heard that thrown out. So it was definitely a shock.
Let's go straight to draft night then. What was it like when you heard your name called and you had contact with the Cardinals? Were you expecting that? Tell us a little bit more about that night.
Yeah, it was super surreal. I was lucky to have some family and friends over. It also happened to be my birthday, so it was extra special day. But I was just sitting outside trying to stay away from all that was going on a little bit, and watched the first round go by, started the second, and I was like, okay, it's starting to get real. Heart's just pounding the whole time. And then I got a call from my agent saying, hey, Cardinals are interested, looking at you getting here. So ran inside real quick, said yes, and then sat down on the couch and waited. And that was some of the longest minutes of my life, just sitting there knowing it's coming, feeling like it'd be fake, like somebody else's name would be said. But yeah, it was an amazing night.
Brycen, I feel like one of your real superpowers on the mound is your release characteristics and, leveraging your release to really, have those funky angles that just make hitters uncomfortable, especially from the left side. First off, like, have you always thrown like that, from that lower 3/4 arm slot? And as a pitcher, how do you feel like that arm slot gives you an advantage on the mound?
Yeah, no, I never really threw like that before. I was always pretty over the top, even into the start of my sophomore year in college, I'd say. I was still way higher, and we had started messing with the idea of throwing a two seam, because I seemed to do it pretty naturally. And through doing that and just trying to throw harder, my body reorganized itself, and my arm slot was slowly started to drop and drop and drop. And I got to a point where it felt so natural. It like doing what I did before felt like I was trying to be something else. But that's where it naturally felt like it came out the best, and the numbers and everything else back that up. As far as when I'm on the mound, like I don't think about it too much. It's more of just like who I am as a pitcher. It's what I've adjusted to. So now it's just about knowing how what I do is perceived by the hitters and playing that up as much as I can.
Brycen, your gyro slider, I think it's one of the best pitches in the Cardinals organization. And, speaking a little bit about just like the angles you're able to create, your horizontal approach angle on the pitch is something that, really catches my eye. Are you someone that likes to dig into the, the pitch metrics, the TrackMan, the Hawkeye data to, give you an advantage on the mound? And, do you use that to help you, whether it is add a new pitch to your arsenal or just make tweaks to your arsenal? So you could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think it's good for two things. It keeps you in check. It's telling you exactly where your pitches are, what exactly they're doing. Like there's no, sure, like arm angle or whatever might change how the hitter perceives it, but as far as it goes, the numbers are the numbers. And then I think it also shows you where you can improve, and you can do the fun little things of like, okay, if I were to cut 3 to 4 inches of vert on this, how would it play in a stuff model or whatever? So things like that, showing you things that might be just in reach for you that could really elevate your game. That's been a big thing for me this past year.
Yeah, a specific example of that would be your changeup. I feel like when you first got into the Cardinals organization, your changeup didn't kill too much vert, but as you've progressed, your changeup's killing a lot more vert. The separation between the fastball and changeup is a lot more pronounced than it was when you first started your career. So could you speak a little bit about the development in your changeup, the different grips that you've had over the years, and, how do you think that pitch is going to help you, take that next step up? As, you've always been someone that's been able to get left-handed hitters out, but having that pitch to, combat right-handed hitters, I think it's just going to help you take that next step up in your development.
Yeah, my changeup was awful. Showing up, I mean, I remember specifically there was a spring training outing my first year where my average vert on my changeup was higher than my four seam. So that was rough, but it's been a lot of tinkering. I shelved it my first year just because it was so bad. And it was like, all right, that would be the next off season's project. So I played with a few grips there, was able to get it a little better. Just kept running with that grip, tinkering with it, playing with visuals, like different cues and stuff. And I was able to slowly refine it. Still didn't use it all that much. And then this year I made it a huge priority that because righties were the issue, I was going to have to fall on something else, whether that be changeup, cutter. The cutter fell to the side, so it was all about the changeup. So I've been messing with it. We had some talks at the end of this year about making some more changes with it, trying to create a little more depth because I've shown the ability to do that in the past. So I had pretty good metrics with it this year. It didn't grade well for whatever reason, and so working on getting that up. But it'll be a game changer going forward. Being able to offer one more thing that hitters have to think about, especially righties, and then a final trick in the book for lefties if needed.
I feel like this was the year of the changeup in the Cardinals organization. A lot of pitchers, getting new changeups, whether it is, like a kick change. We've seen that pitch really start to skyrocket in terms of usage. Guys like Darlin Saladin in the Cardinals organization, Tekoa Roby, Hansel Rincon, who was your teammate. He also had a new changeup this year. So it's fun to see, the developments in the changeup this year. And, hopefully, that's a pitch that you could really start to rely on and help you in those matchups, especially against right-handed hitters.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of changeup focus this year. Super cool to see Rincon, who I've played with the past few years, see that new changeup play and how unbelievable it was for him. Same with TK. Like I remember the first day he picked up the kick change and I watched him throw it like 30 feet straight into the ground. And then the next week he was punching everyone out with it. Like it was amazing to see. And then I got to watch Gastelum all year throw that insane thing, and just everyone knows it's coming. No one's ever able to touch it. Unbelievable.
That's awesome. He's one of our favorite guys to talk about on here as well. Another major improvement for you this season too was your velocity. It ticked up in 2025, and late in the season, it seemed like you were consistently sitting in the mid 90s. Was there anything specific you focused on to help make that leap? And do you feel like there's still more left in the tank?
Yeah. So I mean, it came down to a lot of things. I can't necessarily pin it on one thing, but I I was able to put on some good weight over the past year, which I think helped me maintain that velo throughout the year, and even keep it trending upwards. Being more efficient with my mechanics was something I'd focused on all off season. I wasn't using my legs very well or as well as I could. So that was a huge focus for me. And that also helped keep the consistency of it. And then, yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely still room in the tank. I mean, I see some outings I go out and I'd be flicking 96 in the fifth or sixth inning, and it felt pretty effortless. So make that the new standard where it's not 2 to 4, 3 to 5. It's consistently that effortless 4 to 6, 5 to 7, whatever it may be.
It's dangerous. Heading into next season, are there any other big changes you're working on this offseason to your arsenal? I know we talked change up. Is there anything else that you want to talk? You don't have to reveal any of your secrets, but we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I mean it's a similar focus to last offseason for me. We've scrapped the cutter entirely. It messed with my arsenal too much. So it's all about the changeup. I've had some good success with it early. I was able to throw a couple mocaps after the season ended just to see where I'm at. Tinkered with it, was able to get some really good shapes. So hoping to stay consistent with that and then just keep getting stronger, gain a little more weight, and I think that'll help raise the floor velo. And I mean, I think I finished 93.7 was my average this year. So if I could be over 94 average this next year, I think I'm in a great spot.
So, Brycen, we've talked about a lot of the changes that you've made this year, whether it be, adding the cutter and then shelving it, the change up, obviously. I thought your curveball also took a step up this year. I think it's a sneaky good offering. Were the adjustments that you made, were they more so a result of your own doing, or did it come through a lot of collaboration and guidance from the Cardinals pitching development staff?
Yeah, a lot of collaboration. I'd shown some good shapes in the past. And unfortunately, when I was trying to throw the cutter a ton, it completely messed up the shape. I went from being pretty slurvy to it basically became like a gyro shape just at 78 to 80. So I battled that for some of spring training and maybe like a month-ish into the season. But it was a battle all year to get those shapes back. But have definitely with some of the coordinators in town and then working with Eric Peterson throughout the season, we're able to find a couple things that help me get that back and being able to progress it. That way, if something like that were to ever happen again, it's a one bullpen fix, not a month-long issue.
So this year, I mean, talking a little bit about the player development group that you worked with this year, there was a new guy in charge, Rob Serfolio, to head the player development alongside director of pitching Matt Pierpont and pitching coordinator Austin Mean. How has that transition in leadership impacted you personally? And what are some of the differences that you've noticed from the previous regime to this new one?
Yeah, it's been an awesome change, definitely much needed. We this year I felt like we had some really good direction from day one. They came in heavy with info, where we'd have presentations. It established where we wanted to go as pitchers in the organization, making sure that we knew our strengths and our weaknesses, so that way we're able to keep pursuing those. But yeah, I'd say just like overall having a direction was the biggest change. Whereas last year it felt like you were just kind of going at your own wherever you were, and it was like whatever you wanted. The info might have been there, but it wasn't really being discussed. Whereas this year, we're sitting down every day post outing, and we're going over exactly what it was that went well, what went wrong. If you threw a pitch that was maybe a little bit of an outlier for you, going into the video on that, seeing how we can replicate that and make it a little more frequent.
Do you feel like those changes have helped not just you, but pitching across the board? Guys you've been on the same team as. What's it been like just for the whole organization, you feel?
Yeah, I think it's been a huge positive change. I mean, I don't know of anyone that has gotten worse from it. Like, you're now, worst case, you know more than you did. But everyone that I've seen has been pushed in the right direction for them.
That's really positive for us to hear. Brycen, you were outstanding in Springfield's championship clinching game, tossing 6 innings of one-run baseball. First off, what was it like being part of that group, helping bring home a title? And how do you think that experience is going to help you prepare for the big leagues?
Yeah, it was awesome. It's by far the favorite team I've been on in my 3 years so far. Just from day one. I mean, there was turnover in the roster, of course, but showing up day one, it already felt like a family. Everyone was closer. Everyone held each other accountable, and it was just a way different feeling than I've had the past 2 seasons. But yeah, we were so good all year, and it kind of felt inevitable that we were going to win it all. So I can't say it was a shock for us. Is kind of just getting business done. But being able to play playoff baseball is always awesome. Play in an atmosphere where it really matters, where you can get lost in that throughout the season, where it's another day, it's another week, everything matters. But to really amplify everything, have a packed stadium, everyone's hanging on every pitch is awesome.
Speaking
Yeah.
about some of the guys that you had a chance of playing with, it was awesome watching Eshawn Henderson, Pete Hansen, and yourself just thrive together in Springfield. 3 lefties that are, emerging in the Cardinals organization. What's the dynamic like between you and those guys? And what are some of the things that you've learned from, Eshawn and Pete that have helped you not only grow both on the field, but also off the field?
Yeah, we're all super close. I've been with Pete the past 3 years. We've been road roommates, and then I got the chance to live with Eshawn last year, and we were roommates this year. So we're all super close, and it's awesome having where we're all similar in the regard that we're lefties, but we all approach things very differently. So it's been super cool to learn from them and be able to continuously pick their brains on things, hear what they're going through. You can offer what you've learned and get some different perspectives on the same, because we're all facing the same problems. So it's just seeing how those guys get there.
I'd imagine the 3 of you will start in Memphis next year. And, Memphis uses the Major League Baseball. Is that something you've thought about, getting used to the Major League Baseball? We've seen some guys in the Cardinals organization get to that AAA level, and they've had some inconsistencies, whether it be with command or, their pitches transforming in shape and stuff like that. So how are you preparing for the Major League Ball?
Yeah. So I got a nice little supply of big league balls that I've been throwing with so far, and I'll continue to use throughout the off season to make the adjustments. But some of us were lucky to go to St. Louis, and we got to throw on the mound there, do some live ABs. So we played with the big league ball there, so that gave us a better idea off the bat, some of the shapes. And it's just little things. Like for me, I noticed with the minor league ball, like I can kind of float through my curveball release and I'll get it out front. But if I'm not right out in front of that thing with the big league ball, it's doing nothing. So it's just little things like that I'll continue to learn and refine this off season. So hopefully, when I do have the ball in game, it's not a factor.
Well, before we finish up, we just want to take a quick moment to thank one of our sponsors, 314 Sports Cards and Collectibles. 314 Sports Cards is located at 9640 Olive Boulevard in Olivet, Missouri. And they're open 10 to 6 Monday through Friday and 10 to 4 on Saturday and Sunday. They buy, sell, and trade all sorts of sports cards, Pokemon cards, whatever you're looking for, they've got it. They have the newest selection of packs, boxes, and single cards, whether you're looking for local players or stars around the league. So please go in, check them out. It's a ton of fun. All right. As we kind of finish up here, we've got a couple rapid fire questions for you. So we're just going to go through these, some fun ones. what is your favorite walk up or warm up song before you take the mound? What really gets you going?
Ooh. I mean, I usually listen to a rap playlist pregame, kind of builds an intensity throughout. But my walkout this year was "It Was a Good Day" by Ice Cube.
Nice. Who's the toughest hitter you faced so far in the minors?
Ooh. I'd say, well, based off outcome, I'm gonna say throwing 4 consecutive sliders to Jack Caglione was not a good idea. But in terms of like consistency, I think, I mean, I threw to JJ a good amount before the season, and that dude is so annoying to face. You cannot get away with anything just outside the zone. You gotta beat him in the zone every time, and he's gonna make contact. So he's a frustrating one.
Who's the funniest teammate in the dugout?
Ooh, funniest teammate. I gotta say Max Ragic.
Nice. Yeah, we've had the chance to talk to him. He's so much fun.
Yeah.
Do you have any pregame routines or superstitions you stick to before taking the mound?
If we're at home, I always have to get a car wash before. Got to show up in a clean car, and then I'm consistent with a C4 energy drink before my outings.
And what do you like to do off the field when you get home or get some time to yourself after a game?
Yeah, after a game, get back, it's usually pretty late, but I'll watch a show or something, and then reading a good amount. So it's my things.
Come on. Do you have any favorite baseball movies or just regular movies?
Ooh, baseball movie. I'll probably go Major League.
Nice.
Regular. I don't know. There's too many good ones for me to pick one.
No, that's a good one. And then last one here. If you could face any MLB hitter, past or present, for one at bat, who would you love to take the mound against?
I'm gonna go Barry Bonds.
Nice.
So
yeah.
It's left on left, so maybe that's cheap. But if there's a left on left matchup to have, that I think that's the one.
Look, if anyone gets to get Barry Bonds out, that'd be pretty sweet. So
yes.
Well, is there anything you're really looking forward to next year? What do you feel like you're most excited about for this next year in your development and getting really close to the show?
Yeah. I'm excited for that opportunity. I think I put myself in a pretty good position here, and just getting to that next level and seeing what it's actually about up there and how people go about their business will be really fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We've really enjoyed watching you all year, obviously, and we'll continue to follow along with you. So much fun to watch you play. And thanks again for coming on today. It's been a ton of fun to talk to you.
Sweet. Yeah, thank you for having me.